Well, good morning. I hope you're having a good week, and I just want to tell you that this is the end of the week, so hopefully you're going to have a great weekend, especially since we're in the holiday season. A note before I get into our Christmas night rescue. I'm going to be working on, and I know some of you watching, or a lot of you watching, are YouTube creators also. And I've been doing this off and on since 2007, full time, pretty much the last year and a half. I've learned a lot, and I've progressed. I'm moving a little bit forward, real slowly. But that's okay. We're going to probably do it in a couple days so that you maybe learn some things and things that I learned the hard way. Anyway, okay, let's talk about the Christmas Eve rescue. Now, anytime is wonderful for a rescue, but I do admit, if it's on Christmas Eve, it's noteworthy and ready for a presentation. Okay. In a small, snow-covered town, a cheerful golden retriever named Max lived with his owner, Mrs. Thompson. Max was no ordinary dog. He had a knack for sensing when someone needed help, and the town folk often joked that he was the town's guardian angel. Now, as an aside, we love our animals so much. They love us so much. And as I've said, as an ongoing theme in these presentations, they're a lot smarter than we give them credit. Cats too. Horses also. And I guess I could keep going on. But anyway, Max is the guardian angel of this beautiful Christmas time rescue. Okay, there we go. That's kind of how they're happy together, but we'll get into how they got here. It was Christmas Eve, and the air was filled with the scent of pine and sound of carolers. By the way, hi again, Three Lost Boys. Good to see you. Some of these brothers talking to no one, the Russians, welcome. It's good, Heckington. I just joined and liked this sub. Thank you. Thank you. I know it's like, why are you even here? That I don't even know how to answer that question. I'm here because I'm blessed. That's all I can say. Okay, the streets were twinkling with lights and families, and they were gathered around their fireplaces. By the way, we moved over here from Davie, Florida. We had a home that was built in approximately 1980, and even though in South Florida, it had a fireplace. Did we ever use it? No. But it was good to hang stockings on. I think everybody needs a fireplace so you can basically, put on, the stockings on there. Anyway, okay. Max, this particular night, seemed very restless, pacing near the door. occasionally letting out a soft bark, So, in other words, Max is saying something is wrong. Mrs. Thompson chuckled. "What's the matter, Max?" excited for Santa. But Max barked again, this time more urgently. He tugged on his leash hanging by the door. So Max is saying something's not right outside, so I gotta get going. Curiously, Mrs. Thompson put on her coat and boots, and the two stepped into the chilly night. Max led her down the quiet, snow-blanketed street, through the town square and toward the woods on the outskirts of town. Now, as you present the picture and it's Christmas Eve, what would be your expectations for a beautiful Christmas Eve? A, it's cold, it's snowing. The lights, Christmas lights are on, everybody's happy. But Max, even though Max would know this was a holiday, or a holiday night, a special night, he's like, no, something's wrong. We've got to go out and find it. So as they neared the woods, Mrs. Thompson heard a faint, panicked sound, a meow. She shivered and quickened her pace, following Max, who was already digging through a snowdrift near a hollow tree. There you go. Every animal needs a home. Every animal needs to be rescued if they've got they're in a problem situation. There, shivering and frightened, was a tiny gray kitten with the fur dusted in snow. Max gently nudged the kitten with his nose and lay beside it to keep it warm. Now, I know you say, this is just a story. Well, it is. But could this happen? Absolutely. As you know, my channel being Phoenix Animal and All Power Group, I deal a lot with people and animals rescuing unfortunate anything, either an animal or a human, in whether it's something like this or a building that collapses. They're just there for you. Being a dog that basically takes care of people, helps them in activities of daily living, and they know they're doing something to help people. And I've always been of the feeling that if we could, we should help everybody we can, regardless what their circumstances are. Anyway, Mrs. Thompson scooped up the kitten, wrapped it in her scarf. "Oh, you poor thing," she murmured. "How did you get out here all alone?" Now, that's also a very, unfortunately, easy thing to have happen. We, being here in Naples, we're in where we are, we're kind of in the woods, which is kind of great. And there's bears and coyotes and deer, and I can go on and on and on. We have a total fenced-in backyard, and you will find most of the homes here do, because animals could come into your yard. And if you've got an animal yourself, you've got to make sure it's protected. So Jamie, our wonderful Shih Tzu, has a wonderful backyard to have fun with. They hurried back to Mrs. Thompson's house, where she dried off the kitten and gave it some warm milk. Max watched over the kitten like a big brother, wagging his tail whenever the kitten let out a tiny meow. The kitten, whom Mrs. Thompson named Snowflake, quickly grew fond of Max, following him everywhere. The next morning, Christmas Day, the town gathered at the square to celebrate. Mrs. Thompson shared the story of Max's Christmas rescue. The townsfolk marveled at the golden retriever's intuition and welcomed Snowflake as the newest member of their community. From that day forward, Max and Snowflake became inseparable, and the townsfolk always remembered that magical Christmas when Max saved Snowflake. A reminder that the holiday spirit is about kindness, compassion, and looking out for those in need, no matter how small. You know, what I did when I wanted to put this in and do the presentation, I said, okay, and I use AI for a lot of different things, images and what have you, but with the stories, I'll just type in, give me a happy, wholesome Christmas story. And it's neat because it will give you a good, sappy type story. And if you go, that's not that good, you just say, do another one. And then it says at the end of this, what I just read to you, it will say, okay, do you want an illustration of this? And I said, yes. So between pulling images here and also pulling it from ChatGPT, hopefully it gets to give you enough of a feel for what the story actually is. You know, all this week we're going to be really excited because we're coming up to Christmas. And over here in Davie, it is cool, believe it or not, which is kind of neat. And I want to thank you for all the likes today, by the way. And before I leave, I want to again say welcome to the Three Lost Boys. D.A. Russians, not sure exactly what that means. Okay, Hackington, I'm sorry. How are you? It's good to have you here. And you know, as I say many times when I'm doing these and getting chat into the mix, you might say, I admit, I know it's not like I got 5,000 people watching this, but believe it or not, literally, I have approximately two likes and 5 people that have come on to watch this with me. Because yes, I do announce it. I don't give a lot of time in advance, but it's like with, you know, in the YouTube world, you do everything and anything that you can to make things better. And I admit, some days are better than others, and, you know, you have a progression of trying to make it where people like what you do. So, again, thank you for being here, and I will look forward to talking to you, seeing you all week. Please have a great day, and I'll see you over the weekend. Thank you so much again. Really appreciate it.